Japanese. But it's like, I'm Amanda. I'm from Chicago, well, the suburbs. Been in Japan for about 5.5 years. One of the reasons why I came was, it's a little embarrassing, but I wanted to impress this guy that was a huge weeb. By huge weeb.
What a huge weeb.
Weeb.
weeb. Okay. The guy who really likes anime. めっちゃアニメ大好きな。
I did impress him, but it just didn't work out.
To Japan to impress him.
Yes.
And you got like a lot of distance.
Yes.
Okay. To be fair though, when I was 16 years old, I was really into anime as well. So that could have been part of it. I mean, my mom's Japanese.
I was gonna say you're mixed,
yeah,
right?
exactly.
Okay.
So I don't know. I traveled here a few times. I like the vibes. I like the culture. And I moved here.
Touch with your roots.
Fair enough. I mean, like that's one easy way to say it.
I'm half Filipino, so
are you?
yeah.
I could not tell. Okay.
So
no
I'll
idea.
be visiting the Philippines, often enough, and flights between the Philippines and Japan are so much cheaper than Japan and the US. So
That's a lot, eh?
I guess some are perfect though.
What, even English? Your English is fine.
Except for my English. My English is good. Yeah.
That's true. That's true.
I'm trying to learn some German on like Duolingo. Just because English is a Germanic language, so I was like, well, might as well learn another Germanic language would be easiest, right?
Is Germanic language like a style of learning?
Oh no, Germanic language is just like a
The grammar?
yeah, the grammar.
Right.
So I think the Germanic languages are German, English, and Dutch. I think Swedish might fall under Germanic language, but I think like Korean and Japanese fall under the same category. How about you guys? Have you studied any other languages or just English,
At
Japanese?
uni, I did like a bit of Spanish and Korean as well.
Oh,
But like, I was not good at those.
yeah.
Spanish, I got like a B, and Korean, I was like pretty bad at as well.
Oh, no.
How about Japanese?
I mean, man, Japanese, obviously, is number one student. That's cheating, though.
For Japanese, before coming to Japan, I actually took like a semester and a half of Japanese.
Okay.
So I did know a little bit of the language before coming here, which I honestly have no idea how people come to Japan not knowing Japanese. I mean, it's okay for them to do that, but I feel like it just makes life so much easier.
Yeah.
I had that experience. I visited Korea for the first time in November.
Okay.
And it's like, okay, now I get to see what it feels like to not know the language in a country that I visit. I only know like 3 words in Korean.
Right.
I feel like people in Korea speak better English than people do in
I've heard
Japan.
that before. I've heard that, yeah.
But still, not being able to speak the language, it was a little difficult at times, I think. But I will say, I feel like the people were a little different. Like, we're more outgoing than people here in Japan. Like, I was also surprised, like Japan, like social distance, right? Even
right.
COVID aside, like people keep their distance,
In general,
right?
But like even living in Tokyo, I've noticed that I've become maybe slightly less open to like talking to strangers on the street. Like, I wonder why. It might just be the culture. But like in New Zealand, I like talk to people on the bus randomly. In Japan, like, I feel like if you do that, they're gonna be like, "Yo, this guy's crazy. What's he doing?" So like, I agree though. Yeah, like even with guys sometimes, if I ask for a spot on the bench, they're like, "Oh, I'm there." Like, I guess everyone just does it by themselves, so it's interesting. Yeah.
Here, like opposite culture.
It's tough. Like when I first came to Japan, it's like, cool, I like being by myself. Like, leave me alone, right?
Right.
But honestly, after like being here for so long, I kind of miss just the friendliness of American culture. People, I see people walking their dogs like in the US, and it's like, oh, good afternoon. Like, how are you, right? But in Japan, it's like, don't even look at my dog. Don't even make eye contact with my cute, adorable dog with his rain jacket on.
Okay.
It's a little different, like outside of Tokyo, right? Like, but I think that could also just be a big city thing in general. Maybe it's not just Tokyo, like even in Chicago.
Like an ulterior motive, right? right? They try to get something from
100%.
you. It's kind of unfortunate because like
Yeah.
with the insane population, if you could connect with everybody, it'd be so nice.
Right.
Oh well, it is what it is. Sure. So it was like the first day, like when I came to Japan, got out of quarantine, and we caught up. So I was like, yo, my boy, let's go. Like vibes are up here, right? So we're just hanging out, we're chatting, we're in the sushi door, blah 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 blah. And then within like 2 minutes of us sitting down, straight away, like the lady's like, oh, sorry, because of like COVID regulations, please keep it down. And it's like, if she just told us like, yo, be quiet, that's fine.
Right.
But I was wondering like, why? What does Corona have to do with it? Is it an excuse or
Did you
what?
see
Right?
there was during COVID there was a thing on like NHK like
Okay, sure.
speaking English spreads COVID more than
Speaking
speaking Japanese.
Because of like our sound. Right? Yeah.
But it's like
We were speaking
they had
Japanese though.
they had the tissue and then they're like
Yeah.
they're like onegaishimasu and then the tissue doesn't move and then they're like please.
Like,
They're
they're
like
emphasizing
spitting
I
into
swear.
the tissue. The tissue is like
The culture shock was when I came here. Back in New Zealand, when I was going to the gym, I could not have my mask. It's completely fine.
yeah.
Here, I had to have a mask even while working out,
Oh.
so I can't breathe. Which was terrible. And after like I think 6 months or like way after the COVID, they finally took it off, and I was like, bro, finally. What was your work in? Were you like teaching or what?
Oh yeah, so where I was working, it was at this after-school international school.
Yeah.
So most of them were Japanese.
Mm.
Either attended an international school in Japan, where English was the main language, or they had lived abroad in like the U.S., the UK,
Right.
New Zealand. So even though we're native English speakers, it's to get them to like a native academic level. Many of them, English is a stronger language than Japanese. So
Right.
when it comes to taking the Juken exams to get into junior high school, we prepare them for exams in English because if they were to take the Japanese exam, maybe their Japanese isn't strong enough. So it's better for them to go into a school where English, they offer English exams and or English programs. I was gonna say I did unfortunately stumble into the ALT thing for like a couple months, but
I mean, like,
the
it's
dreadful
fun, though,
experience.
Right? Well, you don't like it? I love that kind of Interesting.
I loved the kids,
Yeah,
but
okay.
the management company I was
Ah.
with was
I can agree with
awful.
you.
they were so disorganized and unprofessional and rude and
ここは海外の人が日本での生活、経験についてインタビューするチャンネルになります。こういうのを知りたい、聞いてみたい、ありましたらコメントお待ちしております。ご視聴ありがとうございました。
Totally just like trying to scam and you.
yeah.